Bhavanam Kevalam 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 Bhavanam 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 Bhavanam Kevalam
Good morning! Happy World Environment Day! Welcome to the Festival of Nature-Based Solutions to Restore the Ecosystem. If we go to the website of the World Environment Day, we will be greeted by these words. This is our moment. We cannot turn back time, but we can grow trees, green our cities, rewild our gardens, change our diets, and clean up rivers and coasts. We are the generation that can make peace with nature. Let's get active, not anxious. Let's be bold, not timid. Join the generation restoration. As we join Pakistan today, who is the host country for this year's celebration, you know, in Pakistan, they are celebrating a number of milestones. First is the completion of 1 billion trees as part of its 10 billion tree drive, taking up a large voluntary pledge under the Bond Challenge, a new marine protected area, and an innovative announcement around nature financing. Dito sa Pilipinas, we are doing the divestment campaign, which includes flotation of the country's first green bond. We are also expecting an announcement to initiate the Global Alliance of Ecosystem Restoration together with other interested partner countries. So as we await for these global events to unfold, here in the Philippines, we have a lot to celebrate. Before we take you to where the actions are, would like you to first watch a video about rights of nature and our campaign to remind us of how far we have gone already in building a stronger defense for the only home we have, our beautiful Philippines.
Bhavanam Kevalam 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 Bhavanam Bhavanam Kevalam Bhavanam Bhavanam Kevalam Bhavanam Bhavanam Kevalam
Prayer for the World Environment Day. All-powerful and loving God of creation, you are the source of all life. You are the source of air, of water, of fire, and of earth. You are beauty. You are gentleness. You are creativity. You are radiance. Everything that exists comes from you. You created us connected and interrelated to all your creation. We praise you for your wonderful works of creation. Thank you for all these wonderful gifts. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for your marvelous love. Thank you for allowing us to enjoy the beauty, the value, and the treasure of this wonderful gift. Forgive us, Lord, for our selfishness, for our unmindfulness and negligence in our responsibility as stewards of creation, for allowing the greedy loggers to rape our forests and disappear, the misuse of agriculture lands and poison our soil for agricultural profit. Pardon, Lord, for the cause of global warming and climate change, acid rain and ozone depletion that affects the Earth's atmosphere. We are sorry for our carelessness, abusing the use of our air element. Forgive us, Lord, for we know that our climate is continuously heating and the use of destructive source of energy like fossil fuels and coal will continue to increase the temperature of the Earth. This has a devastating impact to climate change. Help us to be responsible in the consumption of goods and fuels. Make us realize the importance of conservation rather than consumption. Forgive us, Lord, for allowing big business to kill and abuse our marine resources, tolerating them to overharvest our marine life and become sick marine ecosystem that destroys the biodiversity in the oceans and water life. We know that this threatens our food supply, our coral reefs, the biodiversity in the marine life, and even the freshwater resources in the streams, rivers, and spring. Forgive us, Lord, for all our selfishness, for being insensitive to the needs of all creation. Forgive all that we have done to harm the earth and all its creatures. You gave us food for our sustenance. Forgive us, Lord, for not sharing the gift of the earth. Help us to be more compassionate, kind-hearted, and caring for your creation. Give us heart to understand the beauty of appreciating and valuing this most wonderful gift of creation. Teach us to be more caring and loving. Grant us the wisdom to use only what we need. Teach us to conserve, preserve, and use intelligently the sacred treasures of the earth. You are the source of all beings and life. We venerate you and respect your gentle world. Amen.
Thank you very much, Father Christian Buenafe, for that very beautiful opening prayer. On behalf of the Philippine Miserior Partnership Incorporated of Caritas Philippines, AMRSP, FCCA, GCCM Pilipinas, GARN, and Simbahayan, and all our partners, thank you very much for being with us today. To officially welcome everyone to this
Recording in
festival,
progress.
of nature-based solutions to restore the ecosystems, may I call in our Executive Secretary at Caritas Philippines, Father Antonio Tony Labiao.
Salamat, Jing. And magandang umaga po sa lahat. Ngayong buntag sa mga taga Mindanao and Visayas. No? First, I'd like to thank all our organizers, resource speakers, and participants to this festival. It's nice to be gathered together, in this beautiful day when we celebrate the World Environment Day, for the sake of our people, for the sake of our planet, and also for the sake of our future. So I welcome on behalf of Episcopal Commission on Social Action, Justice and Peace, Caritas Philippines, our National Director, Bishop Colin Bagafor of Kidapawan, and the National Secretariat and the Social Action Network. I welcome you and congratulate all of you. Alam ko na ang environment, ang crisis natin sa environment is worsening. And it needs healing and restoration. It's urgent. And the CBCP, through the inter-episcopal commissions, led by Episcopal Commission on Social Action and Justice and Peace, Caritas Philippines, in partnership with GCCM Pilipinas, launched a national Laudato Si program last March 3, 2021, to tell the whole network, the church, especially the Catholic Church, and all our partners, that there is that crisis and there is that urgent need to heal and to restore our ecosystems or to protect our planet. Now, this national Laudato Si program hopes to spread and deepen the awareness of people on the ecological situation, especially the crisis and the need of intervention, a need of reversal, or a need of restoration. And it's also a program that makes us not only aware of the situation, pero kailangan magkaroon tayo ng concrete actions. Especially in this program, we are going to organize eco-desks or eco-programs in different social action networks in the 85 dioceses under in the Philippines. And also to advocate and support specific advocacy, especially on mining and all extractive industries in the country. The divestment campaign natin, kailangan yon. So that the 6 components of this national Laudato Si program revolves around really spreading the awareness and encourage people to take concrete actions as individual, as an organization, as a church, and as a network. And hopefully, this is a concrete manifestation of our seriousness as a church in terms of our campaign, to protect the only home that we have. So, ang mga bishops naman sa Catholic Church, the CBCP, have a lot of statements already, and I'm really happy that this year, celebrating the 500 years of Christianity in the Philippines, we have this national Laudato Si program that can also guide everybody how to get involved in the whole campaign of protecting our environment, our only home. And so I would like to once again to thank everybody. We are all involved here, and I know that we can. I always say this is everyone's business. So if we can encourage more people to be involved, to be active in our campaign. It is really a big boost to our program, and also we have many things to celebrate. No, so I believe, no, let us renew our faith. 500 years of Christianity. Let us renew our commitment, no, to renew the earth, because that's our being a steward. And then if everybody is involved, I'm sure we have hope, and let us journey together in hope, so that we can achieve what God wants us to help Him recreate. He is the only one who has the power to recreate this world, this planet, and really to provide us a beautiful home. And with our help, with our active stewardship, I am sure we will not fail. So let us continue to journey in hope and in faith. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikiisa at pagbabahagi ng inyong panahon, ng inyong mga expertise, at lalo na ang inyong pagbabahagi ng inyong buhay, ng inyong ministry dito sa gawain na ito. Congratulations once again. Welcome to our festival.
Thank you very much, Father Tony Labiao, the Executive Secretary of Caritas Philippines. Thank you very much for underscoring that our common home needs healing fast, and that with all the things that we have been doing collectively, this is everyone's business. Then we have to journey together, so that in hope, we will be able, with God's grace, to recreate our common home. Maraming salamat po. Now we move on to the Festival of Ideas. And we wanted really to be sharing with you the best practices of how we are actually having nature-based solutions to restore our ecosystem. So just a few logistical announcements. Everybody will be going to a Zoom room. So randomly, you will be selected to go to the breakout rooms, so that you will be able to equally see the presentations, but not everybody, not all the presentations. So during the selection of the participants, you will all be part of a 30-minute breakout session. So the breakout session will include the speakers presenting to us all their topics, and then their showcase of ideas. And then that would be followed by a 10-minute question and answer. So 20 minutes sharing of ideas, of best practices, and 10 minutes question and answer. Just be mindful, because we only have 30 minutes in the breakout room. After 30 minutes, the Zoom will be breaking out again, and then go back. You will be going back to the main room. Ano po, everybody except for Father Edu will be staying in the main room, so he will be part of our live streamed telecast this morning. So who will be our speakers? We would like to be sharing with you these beautiful persons. So first of all, we will be having Mr. Bert Peters, the Executive Director of the Philippine Permaculture Association. He will be talking to us, or sharing with us, his advocates in the practices of permaculture in the Philippines. Also, we will be having Father Benigno Beltran, the Executive Director of the Philippine Sustainability Challenge. He will be sharing with us the bamboo reforestation project in Marikina watershed. And then we'll also be having Dr. Louis Parungao, the Associate Professor in the Miriam College Environmental Studies Institute, who will be sharing with us the academic initiatives in community-based forest resource management and biodiversity conservation. Also, we'll be having Father Edu Garrigues, the Director of the Social Action Center of Calapan, the Apostolic Vicariate of Calapan's Gulayang Bayan for the Caritas Kindness Stations. Then also we'll have Mr. William Grenard, the Executive Director for Soil and Water Conservation Foundation Incorporated, to share with us how we can establish community managed forests. And also, from our LGU partner from LGU Dumingag in Zamboanga del Sur, we'll have Mayor Joanne Abejuela. She'll be sharing with us Regenerative System Dumingag's Genuine People's Agenda on People Empowerment and Sustainable Development. So these are our roster of speakers who are really, we are very excited for you to meet them and be able to partake, to share with them the enthusiasm and then also the experiences of how they were able to came up with these ideas that we have now and then we are showcasing now. So everybody will be going out. Iko will now move you to the Zoom room, and everybody will be having a 30-minute breakout session with your own speakers.
Ready na, Jing? Okay na.
Okay. So now can I
Pwede
call
na
Father Edu na? Okay, please go to your assigned rooms. All you needed to do po is click enter or join. Okay, so we are seeing everybody leaving the main room and now having only several for Father Edu. We would like to thank everybody who are watching to us live today via our Facebook pages. Thank you very much for being with us, for spending your morning with us and celebrating the World Environment Day. So there's just a little there's just several people who needed to be in their assigned rooms before we can start with Father Edu's presentation. In each of the Zoom rooms, there would be staff from PMPI and our partners who will be assisting our speakers. So dun sa mga speakers natin, wag po kayong mag-alala. You are all in good hands. Father Benigno Beltran's room is already complete. Now we're waiting for Dr. Louis, Sir William. Sir William's room is almost complete. Also with Mayor Joanne. Okay, there's just several others from for Dr. Louis na hindi pa nakakapasok sa Zoom. Iko, do you think we can start already with Father Edu's?
Opo, bali may mga ano po, may iwan po kasi randomly na may iwan po dito sa regular room, kagaya po ni Sister Leonian. So yung presentation po na maririnig ninyo ay kay Father Edu. Thank you. So kaya kung yung iba po ay nagtataka kung bakit hindi sila makapili or nandito lang po sila sa regular room, ibig sabihin po ay randomly po ay dito kayo kay Father Edwin Garrigas sa presentation niya. Thank you.
Okay, maraming salamat, Iko. So, I think Father Edu is ready and very much willing already to present his festival of idea. So, would like to welcome everyone in this room and everyone watching worldwide. So, the Apostolic Vicariate of Calapan introduced Gulayang Bayan as their version of Caritas Kindness Stations. Starting off in several Mangyan mission communities, Gulayang Bayan is now being popularized in Oriental Mindoro with several local government units and local partners supporting the initiative. To share with us this whole Gulayang Bayan idea, we would like to welcome for everyone, Father Edu Garrigues, the Director of the Social Action Center in Calapan. Welcome, Father.
Good morning. Good morning to you all, and thank you for joining this forum on community gardens or Gulayang Bayan. We will start the presentation with the video, and I request Iko to play the video that we prepared. This is only a 2-minute video.
Ang Gulayang Bayan o Community Garden ang napapanahong proyekto ng Social Action Center ng Apostoliko Vicariato ng Calapan bilang tugon sa lumalalang kalagayan ng kagutuman at malnutrisyon sanhi ng krisis sa klima at COVID-19 pandemic. Sa panahon din ng pagtugon, ang simbahan ay nagnanais upang kahit paano ay maibsan ang kagutuman lalo na ng mga higit na mahihirap sa pamamagitan ng mga Caritas Kindness Station na nagsimula pa noong nakaraang taon. Ito ay sinundan ng mga community pantry na naging inspirasyon upang magkaroon ng inisyatibo ng pagbibigayan at malasakit. Ngunit ang nakikitang panganib na epekto nito sa kalaunan ay ang pagiging palaasan ng marami sa tulong na katulad nito. Ang tanong ay, nararapat ba ito kung gulay din lang ang ipinamamahagi samantalang may mga lupang maaari namang taniman sa mismong bakuran, nakatiwangwang na mga lote o sa bukid kaya? Hanggang saan ang itatagal nito kung dole out pa rin ang pamamaraan? Meron pa bang mas higit na akmang paraan ng pagtulong? Dito na ikonsepto ang Gulayang Bayan at ang ating paniniwala na laging may pagkain kung tayo ay laging magtatanim na mas makabubuting palaganapin sa halip na umasa lamang sa hingi at ibinibigay na tulong. Ang Gulayang Bayan ay ayudang pangmatagalan at dito sa Calapan, ito ang aming bersyon ng Caritas Kindness Station.
Thank you to Sai for the video production and also to Jing for the voiceover. So I'll begin my presentation. I'll continue my presentation with my PowerPoint. Can I have the screen?
Yes, you can share, Father.
Okay. I'm happy to be with you today to present this concept of Gulayang Bayan. But before that, I think mayroon bang foreigner sa ating grupo? English ako na English, ay baka pwede naman magtagalog. Except for Alfonso Bansil, nandirito siya at alam ko nakakaintindi siya ng Tagalog. Walang foreigner. Nobody from outside the country in this group?
Yes, Father, pwede ka pong magtagalog.
Sige, Taglish na lang. So, for a start, I think I would like to make a correction to the subtitle in my presentation, saying that Gulayang Bayan is similar to community pantry. I don't know if it will become a controversial statement if I reward it saying this initiative of NASA Caritas Philippines actually is not similar, but actually the forerunner of community pantry. As many of you in the diocesan network would know, we already started this concept of community pantries at the very start of the pandemic. Several months after the pandemic, we did the same thing, but it was entitled differently. It's not community pantry. It was community kindness. What's that again? Kindness station. Kindness station. And actually, it was also borrowed from a group in. We are not original. We were not original. The original concept was borrowed from a group in Bicol. Where was that again? Jing, in Naga.
Yung Sorsogon po.
Sorsogon, sorry. A group from Sorsogon came up with this kind of concept, and we borrowed it. We tried to popularize, but it did not really become so popular as community pantry. And I was asking my staff, Jing in particular, why community pantry was so popular when our kindness station initiative was not. And Jing was saying, we did not go viral during that time. So the lesson is, if you have a good idea, you need to go viral for people to really take it seriously. But anyway, it's the same concept. So when community pantry was again reintroduced, we really supported community pantry because we believe that this is a very good and noble initiative for people to really come together, to be in solidarity, to help each other. And the battle cry is to give according to your capacity and to get according to your need. Magbigay ayon sa kakayahan, kumuha ayon sa pangangailangan. So my presentation is really a continuation of this initiative of Caritas Kindness Station, or popularly known as community pantries. But this is rather a revised version because for a fact, I myself, when the pantry was reintroduced, given the experience with the original concept, I was telling myself it's not going to be sustainable. It's going to fizzle out for a time. We know because we've done that. We've been there. We've done that. Nanggaling na po kami doon, ginawa na yung kindness station. Kaya kinakabahan ako doon sa community pantry. Sabi ko, gagawin na naman natin to. Ang hirap nitong i-sustain. I know because we've been there and we've done that. And it's a good initiative, but it will only last for some time. And that happened to us. In the dioceses, we've been able to do the kindness station for several months, but after some time, we were not able to continue it, to sustain it. Ay, ngayon din po, nasa na ngayon yung community pantries, na wala na rin sila. Mahirap talaga i-sustain. So, when I came to the diocese, and this is my story actually, I'd like to tell you my story. As most of you know, I have been with NASA for 10 years, and with PMPI in particular, that's Yoli, when she was still young. You're still young, by the way. So, and we did national campaigns, and we implemented national projects. It's all very high-level campaigns and programs. And then I resigned in NASA a year ago, and I went back to my diocese. And I was assigned by the acting bishop as the national director, sorry, as a diocesan director of our own social action. And then when I was tasked to do a program regarding a response to COVID pandemic, and I was thinking of particular to revive actually the kindness station by that time. But then I was really convinced that it's not going to be sustainable. It needs to be revised. So this is our revision. What we came up with this Gulayang Bayan, or instead of community pantry, it's community garden. Why? Because the logic is that we need to make giving of assistance really sustainable. Of course, we need to go to the poorest of the poor, but what do we give, and how can we sustain the giving? So we brainstorm, and we came up with this idea that what, instead of, because people are during that time we have also the kindness store. We are giving vegetables, and not just the noodles and sardines. But we thought of, what about mobilizing people to plant? Because by doing that, you can have more to share. It's not one-time giving. Bumili ka ng gulay, pagkatapos maubos ang pera mo, tapos na. So our idea for this is that why can we not mobilize communities? Because Mindoro is an agricultural province. We have so many of the idle lands, and even our backyards, ang dami niyan. Pero even in urban community, you can also do urban gardening. You know that. Pero this is very feasible in Mindoro. So what we do is I myself adopted this strategy in our social action, that the way to move forward to address the pandemic and also this issue of food security is for us to mobilize people for community gardening. And I have a community, a Mangyan community, where I go every weekend, and I started doing that in my own community, and with me also doing the work. And also, this is very much in line with Caritas vision. Even before the pandemic, there was this forum with PAW, I think, in the United Nations. And the presentation of Caritas, it was presented by our president, no other than Cardinal Chito Tagle. It was reprinted to the CBCP Monitor, the problem of food loss, solutions from Caritas. So long before the COVID pandemic, Caritas already has this strategy of ensuring food security by doing community, or by doing this agricultural program of family farming. And this is also in line with many of us already know this already. This article written by Eve Crowley. She's a focal point for post 2015 development agenda, claiming that family farming can contribute to the future of sustainable rural development. So this is the key for any poverty alleviation program that we want to do. And I am in a provincial setup, rural agricultural area. So this is the most appropriate strategy for poverty alleviation, for ensuring food security, and for rural development. And as you can see from this statement, so I'm very much convinced of that. So that's why when we have this, when we were reviving this Caritas kindness station, otherwise known as community pantries, I insisted on, if we have fund, and I convinced my former colleagues in NASA, we are not going to get the funds to buy more noodles and more groceries to be distributed, or we cannot buy more vegetables to be distributed to the poor communities. What we are going to do is we are going to launch a program wherein we will mobilize communities to plant. And we did this. This is in my own community, not in a more how do we say that, larger or wide scale type of work. We challenge the family. Can we plant? Can you plant 500 seedlings per families? Ay, syempre, hindi naman ganun ka-epektibo yun. Maraming namatay. Ngayon po kasalukuyang ginagawa yan. At pupuntahan ko pa nga ulit yan bukas kung marami ang tumubo o ano. But the logic is, there will always be food if we will always plant. Laging may pagkain kung tayo ay magtatanim. So katulad ng nabanggit sa video, it's not always dole out. So why give when you can plant? And we can mobilize the communities, particularly to really the parishes actually. These pictures, the pictures from the parishes, three pictures from here, were taken only yesterday. So instead of giving or distributing food packs or groceries, what we are distributing are seeds or tools, and then we give training. We actually yesterday we had a whole day training for two parishes nearby, and this is just a picture of us doing that. So this is our version of kindness station. This is our version of community pantries, which is more sustainable, and we call this Gulayang Bayan or community garden. And I think RC po in Bicol adopted also this kind of concept to be more sustainable. Kasi kung wala ka nang maipamigay, there's a donor fatigue. Kahit nga po dito yung mga kaibigan ko sa NGO, talaga napakasigasig sa simulang mga araw. Luto sila ng pansit dito, pansit doon. hindi yan masama. At we did that already and it's good. Pero how sustainable can that be? So yun nga yung, ito pagka nagtanim ka, dire-diretso yan. Sabi ko nga po sa NASA, kahit mag-report kami ng tuloy-tuloy na buong taon, umaani yan. Kaya yung mga tao, natuto sila magtanim, so tuloy-tuloy yung gawain. And we are very happy doing this. Pero hindi lang yun. So it's not only planting. Yung strategy ay maraming sabay-sabay, hindi lang pagtatanim. Kasi pagka magpagtatanim, hindi pa rin mariresolbahan ng maraming mga problema ng kahirapan sa kanayunan. So we hand in hand with planting, we do the same strategies that we are always doing, like advocacy campaign, like meron din po kaming bee production, apiculture ang tawag. We have I'm very excited about it. Yung free-range chicken, in-expand na po namin yan. At ang nangyayari dito, parang community pantry din. Yung po mga manok na yan, ilan na from 25, additional 35, additional 11, lahat ng mga manok po yan donation. So we accept mga manok as donation and then we expand our community pantry. Ay di tuloy-tuloy yan, bigyan nyo lang kami ng manok, pararamihin po namin yan. Hindi yung one-time giving, pagkabigay mo ng manok, pinatay, kinain, ubos. So ito po pararamihin, may program po yan. So yun, at so it's not only planting, it's one big program as part of what we bukod pala doon, meron pa rin kaming kawayan. So Father Ben will be talking about kawayan. So we also have we plan to establish bamboo nurseries in many of the indigenous people's area in the province of Mindoro, and we will propagate bamboos at magtatanim po kami sa mga ilog at sa mga gumuguhong lupa, sa mga lupaing ninuno, at meron kaming partner dito, yung Mindoro Island Bamboo Network ni William Wagan. So we are mobilizing communities to also plant bamboos in the whole province of Oriental Mindoro. This is a dream for us and I think it's coming true. So bahagi po ito ng buong programa ng tinatawag naming agroecology. So it's not just Gulayang Bayan is but part of this whole agroecology program. A farming system that centers on food production, that makes the best use of nature's goods and services while not damaging these resources. So when we talk of restoring ecosystems, this is our strategy. So it's very much part also of our campaign for the rights of nature. as you can see from this definition of agroecology from Philip Schaeffer. He is also one of the lawyer campaigner for environmental law, including rights of nature. For him, agroecology refers to a way of food production and management that builds and stimulates natural processes to boost resilience and productivity. So hindi lang magtatanim ka for the sake na magtatanim ka. So that's our way also of ensuring productivity. Dapat kumikita, dapat kahit papaano ay, at ito yung pamamaraan natin ng pagpapatibay ng mga pamayanan. With agroecology, farming thrives and it works with local ecosystems. Kaya nga po, how do we restore ecosystems? Ito yung magandang pamamaraan. We improve soil and plant quality through available biomass and biodiversity rather than battling nature with chemical inputs. Nakakalungkot na laso na ng todo ang ating lupa. Nalaso na ng todo ang ating pagkain. Kaya nga ang dami natin sakit. Pagka nagka-cancer, sasabihin natin na sisisihin natin ang Diyos. Ay, sabi ko nga, hindi naman po dapat ganun. Tingnan natin ang ating mga kinakain at huwag natin sisihin ng Diyos. Kasi yung ating mga kinakain, yun yung pinanggagalingan ng mga laso ng ating katawan. So with agroecology, farmers, we seek to improve food yields, maraming ani, balanced nutrition, at saka din yung merkado. Meron din dapat mapapagbilhan yung ating mga inani para din ito ay bahagi ng livelihood para umangat ang kabuhayan ng mga tao. At ganoon din sa healthy ecosystem kasi hindi niya sinisira, kundi ibinabalik niya ngayon yung taba ng lupa na matagal nang nasira dahil kahit ang DA natin ngayon, alam naman natin na ipinopromote nila yung mga chemical farming na matagal nang nakakasira ng kalikasan. Actually, in agroecology, there are 10 important elements. And many of them we have not been able to harness yet. We have not been able to fully adapt. Pero yun po yung pinagsisikapan natin ngayon. There's a good article about it in their website. I-Google nyo lang po yung 10 elements of agroecology, PAU-UN. Yan po yun. So I will not be discussing this because this is very theoretical, and you have the website to really study the principles or the elements of agroecology. So I'd like to focus more on the practical and the how do we implement the principles. So this is just for your information. So we know that in reality, we have more than enough food sa buong mundo. Hindi naman tayo dapat nagugutom. Pero unfortunately, due to inefficient and unfair distribution system and poor farming methods, millions of people do not get adequate nutrition. Lalo higit ngayon sa panahon ng pandemic. Lalo higit ngayon sa panahon ng krisis sa klima. So we adopted the agroecology strategy because it is ecologically sustainable. We recycle nutrients instead of applying fertilizers. By doing that, we prevent chemical pollution of soil, water, and air. And we also promote biological diversity, iba't ibang pagkain, iba't ibang gulay, at iba't ibang tanim. Improving soil fertility and build-up of humus. Yung una naming tanim, hindi po tumubo. Hindi ko alam. Sabi ko sa aming consultant, papakilala ko yung consultant ko mamaya, bakit hindi tumubo? Sabi niya, nako, paano yung soil nyo? Mali. Yun. Pero ganda po doon, natututo tayo. Preventing soil erosion. So it's ecological sustainable. Agroecology is ecologically sustainable. It is also socially sustainable. The whole process supports the sufficient production for subsistence and income earning for small farmers. Ang mga katutubo po ay subsistence farmers. Kaya mahalaga yung pagkain. At pagka may pagkain, wala kang problema. Kaya lang pumasok na sila sa market economy. Kaya kinakailangan din ng income. Kaya yun, mayroon din kami pong kawayan. Kasi yung kawayan ay yung mga seedlings pinagbibili din yan. Kaya dagdag din yun para din sa pagkain nila. So, safe and healthy food, local knowledge and traditions, mayroon mga katutubong pamamaraan, ina-explore po natin yan. And agroecology is economically sustainable Hindi natin mas binibigyan yung mga mas mayayaman na. We help small farmers to have more reliable yields, lower reliance on external inputs. Kasi nga po, alam natin yan, lagi natin dinidiscuss. Kwentahin mo yung nagastos mo sa mga chemical, ay bukod pa sa lason yun, ay siguradong talong-talo ka. Yung mga magsasaka ng bigas, pagka sila ng palay, bago sila umani, kapag nakaani sila, ay kulang pang pambayad sa mga chemical inputs. So I will not go into detail because we have very limited time, but just to say it's economically sustainable. And it's important to note that Caritas International is talking about green response for COVID-19 recovery. And when they talk about green response, they're talking about agroecology. This specific approach is being adopted by hindi lang, not only the national organization, but Caritas as international organizations. Caritas partners invested in responses that drew on agroecology principles to support subsistence farmer. Particularly during COVID. Ay saan nakuha to ng Caritas Internationalis? Ay yung idea din po na ito nanggaling din sa Caritas Philippines. Because part of our response sa COVID, nung pumasok na ang COVID dito, sinabi na rin natin noong ako po ang nasa Caritas nito, na we need to strengthen our agri-sector to cushion COVID economic impact. At actually, ang tawag nga namin dito ay yung green initiatives at yung green eco-convergence, yung Laudato Si national program. Part po ito noon na sinimulan ko no ako'y nandiyan pa sa nasa Caritas Philippines. Green initiatives. And this is to prepare the communities for post-pandemic scenario. Kasi ang mahalaga, ang nakita natin ng pandemic, ano ba talaga ang mahalaga? Pagkain. Pag wala, yung mall, mawawala yung mall kahit hindi ka manood ng TV, pabili ng kung ano-ano. Pero pag nawala ang pagkain, pwedeng mawala yung cellphone. Ng mga kabataan, hindi. Sa mga millennials, basic need yan. Pero hindi pwedeng mawala ang pagkain. So, yun po. Kaya may pandemic o wala, pagkatapos man ng pandemic, ganun din. Hindi lang ito pandemic. Kundi yung organic agriculture or agroecology is also our strategy for climate change adaptation and mitigation. And as many of us are coming from NGO, and we know everything about it, like the theory of this whole argument about carbon sequestration, yung enhancing of sequestration through sustainable agricultural management practices. Yung pag-intercropping, green manure, lahat ng yan, alam na po natin yan. So, yung agroecology, yung pagtatanim, ay hindi lang siya food security, kundi strategy din siya sa climate change adaptation. At kahit yung IPCC, binanggit po ito doon, yung increasing soil organic carbon and agricultural systems has also been pointed out as important mitigation option by IPCC. So may pagkain ka na, nakakatulong ka pa sa sa problema ng klima. Yung kawayan, ganun din po yun. Kaya kami nagtatanim din ng kawayan, carbon sequestration din yan, maganda rin yan. At saka yung tubig, ang daming nawalang bukal dito, ay maganda to, nakikita ko mismo eh. Yung marami pong tubig sa bundok na tuyo. Pero yung mga naiwang may tubig ay yung may mga kawayan. So climate adaptation mitigation, pagtatanim ng kawayan, tama si Father Beltran dyan. So yung agroecology is also low risk farming strategy, reducing inputs, lower risk of crop failure, at napakaganda niya sa pamamaraan ng pag-angkop sa klima. This is my mentor and my consultant, my partner Jun Sarmiento, formerly with Pakisama, and now he's also back in Mindoro. So siya po ang may technical kakayahan, technical competence to help me in this program of agroecology. And the challenge for us also is to become practitioners. Nung ako nasa national office, ang hirap nitong gawin kasi busy tayo. Pero ang nangyayari, armchair advocates ang tawag sa atin. Pero ngayon, hindi na lang po armchair ang hawak ko. Asarol at pala at gulok. May dalawa akong garden. Ito po ay sa Mangyan Community, yung nakikita nyo sa taas. Nandun yung bahay kong kubo. Nandyan po ako na Sabado at Linggo. Itong isa, ito po sa seminaryo. May garden din ako sa seminaryo. Ito mismong tapat ng aking kwarto. So walk the talk. Ito po may mga talong, okra, sili, at kung ano-ano pa, kamatis. At I'm very proud of my first harvest in my own garden dito po sa seminaryo. Walk the talk. At yun natin sinasabi, kung tayo'y magtatanim, laging may pagkain. At yung gulayang bayan ay pangmatagalang, ay ayudang pangmatagalan. Kaya yun lamang po. Maraming salamat sa inyong pakikinig.
Thank you very much, Father Edu. Maraming salamat para sa ating napakagandang presentation po, especially in providing also some light in not only the Caritas Calapan's initiatives, yung Gulayang Bayan, pero even with the whole of Caritas initiatives in really responding greenly to the challenges brought about not only by climate change but also by the COVID pandemic. So maraming salamat po, Father Edu. I think we are opening the floor already. Mamaya po wag lang po kayong magugulat when everybody from the other breakout rooms would be coming in. Pero as of this time, we would be continuing with the question and answer portion. So anybody who'd like to ask Father Edu, clarify some things about his presentation and his project, especially sa Gulayang Bayan, how is this sustainable? How are they making everything like parang integrated in all the other programs of the church and then maybe of the government, of their partners? We can have them now. So from Sir Froilan Alipao ng UST Simbahayan, you're raising your hand po. You're recognized now to ask your question.
Magandang umaga po, Father Edu.
Good morning, Froilan.
Nag-meet na po
Parang
tayo.
nagkasama na tayo sa ibang kwan, ano?
Nung huling GA ng Assembly ng PMTI, taga Diocese of Iba ako dati. Kay Father Roque.
Roque, oo.
But now I'm with UST Simbahayan as the director of the Community Development Office or the Extension Office of the University. Tama yun, Father Edu, na natutuwa at natatawa ako sa sinabi mo na armchair advocate, no? Kapag ka nasa Manila ka at office na in charge sa advocacy, lalo sa environment, merong talagang bagay na nagiging armchair ka lang kasi nga office no, Manila, but we can do our personal contribution kahit nasa Manila. At hindi naman ako Manila lang kasi from the diocese, so I already practice yung mga ganyan, yung mga community-based, yung mga yung direct sa community. Then kailang nasa Manila, then bago yung context. No? Siguro, Father, yung isa sa yung challenge talaga ng any development program, no? Lalo itong Gulayang Bayan, kung ilalagay mo sa context ng urban poor, at saka even in rural areas, malaki kasi yung naging influence ng neoliberal economy sa kahit sino, karaniwang tao, lahat tayo, even among the small farmers. Paano nyo po nagawa yung pag-facilitate ng paradigm shift, no? Kasi sa inyo advantage na talagang agricultural yung Mindoro, but you can also give us siguro yung insights nyo ng how this paradigm shift na actually balikan na natin yung pagtatanim, no? Nagtatanim naman talaga tayo dati, di ba? Iniwanan natin. So paano yung strategies nyo for that kind of program, no? Tapos yun yung una. Pangalawa, dahil may mga tiwangwang na lupa, totoo yun, no? Pero yung papaano naman siya i-match do sa usapin ng lupa sa mga farmers, lupa para sa farmers. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat, Father.
Salamat, Froilan. Sasagutin ko muna yung pangalawa mong tanong. Kasi
Apo.
nung bagong pari ako, at kami din ni John Sarmiento, yung pinakita ko kanina, ang una naming ginalawan ay AR. Land rights kami, campaigner kami ng CARP bago pa yan maging CARPer. Hanggang ngayon, so mahalagang may sarili kang lupa dahil hindi rin mawawala yung kahirapan kung hanggat ang mga magsasakay wala sariling lupa. Yung totoo yan, kahit sa mga katutubo, hanggat walang sariling lupa, gayon din po. Tuloy-tuloy din yun. Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, hindi lang po pagtatanim. Mayroon din yung advocacy, isinasabay din yan. Mayroon din kami mga advocacy campaign sa land rights. Hanggang ngayon kahit ang tapos ng CARPer at saka ganoon din sa lupaing ninuno. Pero ang pahabol doon, tagal naman nating makuha kuminsan yung ating laban sa lupa. Ang mahalaga ay kung ano yung lupa na nandiyan na mayroon tayo, gawin natin produktibo. Yun ang challenge namin lagi. Kahit ito naman pinag-aagawan, pagpalagay, pero as long as nandiyan ka o kahit na anong liit meron ka, gawin natin produktibo. Kasi pag naging atin yan, mas lalong marunong tayo kung paano pagyamanin. Lesson sa Luisita, alam niyo ni Jing, nakuha nila yung lupa, pero hindi nila kayang pagyamanin kasi wala silang technical na kakayahang magsaka. So anong nangyayari? Napasanla din yung lupa bagamat napunta sa kanila sa mahabang panahon nila pinaglaban. Anyway, so yun yung mahalaga yung pagmamayari ng lupa. Doon sa una mong tanong, totoo na ito yung agricultural province, pero ang hirap din sa paradigm change na sinasabi mo kasi yun yung gobyerno natin ang nagtuturo ng chemical farm. Hindi lang nagtuturo, nagpupush, nagtutulak. Kaya ang namin, partnership with the LGU doon kagad, lalo tigil sa mga pinuno ng ating mga LGU, nakikipag-tie up kami. Nakikinig naman sila at nakikita din naman nila yung kinakailangang pagbabago dahil hindi naman mahirap na ipakita sa kwentahan pa lang yung at saka hindi lang sa health reason at yung pagbabagong kamulatan nangyayari. Kaya yung mga neoliberal etc. may separate track ng campaign kasi sabi ko nga kanina ay hindi natin binibitiwan din yon kasi alam natin na ito yung mga remedial piecemeal kung minsan pero yung ating kampanya ay dapat ay kaya gusto ko rin yung 10 elements kasi na hindi lang magtanim ka okay na hindi pa rin yung solusyon dapat ay a-actionan pa rin natin yung mga mas matataas na antas ng kampanya. Ito naman yung mga practical na mga gawain sa mismong komunidad. Sabi nga natin sa NGO, mayroong bibingka strategy, may nasa taas, may nasa baba, patong-patong at sabay-sabay.
Maraming salamat po, Sir Froilan and Father Edu. I would like to welcome everyone back to the main room. Thank you so much for really participating in all the 6 breakout rooms. Maraming salamat po. And also, thank you very much to all our resource persons for sharing your wonderful sustainable ideas in collectively restoring our ecosystems. And now, after hearing and learning about these beautiful initiatives, would like to have your thoughts. I know that you've had your question and answer portion during the breakout session, and just now we've listened to one question from Sir Froilan of UST to Father Edu. What are your takeaways from the sharing of best practices? Do you have any more questions left unanswered, and maybe the plenary would benefit more from learning the answer? What are your realizations? We would like to request you, if you won't be able to raise your hand and then say it personally, there's our chat box, so you can have it, you can write them down in the chat box and then we'll just read them. Please just make sure to also tell us where are you from, especially your organizations, so that we would be able to properly recognize your organization also. So are there any more takeaways from the sharing, from what you have learned, from what you have listened to? Do you have any other questions that you'd like to ask in the plenary? Meron pa po ba?
Hello.
Hi, Sir Jess. Good morning.
Meron lang akong i-share. Sana mapag-aralan din natin magtanim ng vetiver. vetiver is napakahina, napakahaba ng kanyang roots. Umaabot siya ng 6 feet na po pwede natin gamitin sa mga soil erosion, mga tabing ilog, at saka dun sa mga gumuguho na lupa. Vetiver ang tawag namin doon.
Thank you so much po, Sir Jess, sa suggestion. And I think lahat ng mga nandito ngayon we're doing tree planting, and even yung mga urban and rural gardening natin, baka let's see how we can make this happen also. We are seeing a few messages in the chat box. So from Green Research, from Ms. Gwen, happy World Environment Day to all. Greetings and prayers from Green Research. Father Edu, can you mention insights related to Laudato Si and Fratelli Tutti vis-a-vis your sharing about Gulayang Bayan? It might help for others to help appreciate these two encyclicals.
Salamat Gwen. Haba nito. Sa Fratelli Tutti, isang magandang section po doon. Ewan ko kung nakakita niyo yon. Kung paano yung political community ay magkaroon ng magandang contribution din sa buhay ng lipunan. At kaya hindi masama actually yung politika dahil mayroong venue upang yung politika ay makatulong sa ating mismong mga isinusulong na mga agenda for development. At yun ay mahalagang sa pakikipagtulungan sa buhay politika. Ang Laudato Si, napakarami po. Actually, nabanggit na natin na yung buong programa ng Laudato Si National Campaign ay nakatuon lalo tigit sa issue ng sustainability. At yung issue din ng lalo tigit yung sinasabi ni Papa Francisco na yung kahirapan ay hindi hiwalay doon sa issue ng environment. The cry of the earth is the cry of the poor. Kaya nga yung ating lahat ng restoration of the ecosystem, ang lahat ng to ay hindi to hiwalay sa issue ng development. Development and ecology, magka-link yan. Yung isa napakahalagang insight mula sa encyclical ni Papa Francisco. Kaya nga, kung isulong natin ang usapin ng pangangalaga sa kalikasan, ang higit na makikinabang dito ay yung mga mahihirap. At yun nga, kaya tayo nagtutulong-tulong lahat sa issue na ito. At marami pang iba tungkol sa Laudato Si, kaya lang po kulang ang ating panahon.
Thank you very much, Father. Are there some other takeaways or realizations and learnings from all the other sharings that we've had this morning? Meron pa po ba from Brother John Dean? You are recognized.
Thank you, Ma'am Jing. Galing po ako sa session ni Father Beltran on bamboo. Ang takeaway ko lang doon is it's the collaboration between again technology and human work. That kasi all the process of planting sa bamboo is trabaho pa din ng tao. Ang tulong talaga ng technology doon ay paglagay ng GPS para lahat ng mga nag-support pwede nila makita kung saan tinanim. So para sa akin, the takeaway is how human and technology can bring solutions to restore our ecosystem then. Thank you.
Thank you very much po, Brother John. Joining from Infanta Quezon, representing Save Sierra Madre Network Alliance and the Prelature of Infanta Community Organization of the Philippines Incorporated. Hello, Kuya Conrad. Thank you so much po for being with us this morning. Okay, is there any other realizations and takeaways from everybody?
Yes, I'd like to share what we had discussed with the group of Bill Granart.
Yes,
I would just like to share that it is possible also to involve majority of the stakeholders, like what Bill said, that it's possible to have forest in the school that is run by the students themselves. And it's also an exposure for the students to see the native trees that they don't see, especially those coming from the urban areas. And it's good also to have tours to expose them on what's happening in the watershed. So I think we can use what Bill and the Soil and Water Conservation Foundation have materials on how they use the DepEd to stimulate the young students to go into developing community forests or forests within the school. That's all.
Thank you, Miss Mercy. I just would like to request from all our resource persons, ano po, because there's one question that we received over Facebook, and primarily this is supposed to only be for Father Edu, but since you are all here, and then we wanted to hear also your response to this question, so I might as well have this for everybody, ano po, because sinasabi po sa atin nung ating viewer from Facebook is most of the popular solutions, even policy initiatives from the national government, are considered climate blind. So what are the local initiatives do you have now, even with local government units or with local stakeholders, that can be replicated by other LGUs or other partners to respond to the urgent need for green responses? So can I start please with Father Benigno Beltran? Hi, Father. Please unmute po. Okay, thank you.
Good morning.
Yes, Father, naririnig na po namin kayo.
Okay. Excuse me, what was the question again?
Ay, here po. Sabi po ng ating viewers sa Facebook, most of the popular solutions, even policy initiatives from the national government, are considered to be climate blind. What local initiatives do you have now in your areas with the local government units or other partners that can be replicated by other LGUs and other partners to respond to the urgent need for green responses?
The 1 billion bamboo by 2030, that's a convergence of government, church, academe, and corporations. So we will plant 1 billion bamboo, and there are bishops already interested in their area. Especially, we would like to plant first as an urgent measure for river basins, so that we can also mitigate at least erosion and flooding. So 1 billion bamboo by 2030. We have a deadline, and that is science-based, because the scientists said that is our timeline for doing something to lessen the 1.5 degrees centigrade increase in global temperature. So we also would like to network 1 million organic farmers by 2030. And we already have 500,000 under negotiations. It's not final, but under negotiations. And they would like to see first whether the Laudato Si Consumers Co-op is working with the e-commerce platform. And then we will talk to them again, so that they can sell their goods directly to the parishioners who are members of the Laudato Si Consumers Cooperative. And then by 2030, using technology, we also plan to educate 10 million out of school youth. And as an aside, ecological consciousness and environmental consciousness and ecological conversion. And if you undergo conversion, you have to atone, you have, so we would like this 10 million kids to plant several bamboo seedlings. So that we are results-based. We would like to count how many, so that if you say we will help you with this, we will ask you how many bamboo will you be planting? Kasi I'm already tired of all the talks and all the pictures of there's an installation here and all that, and then when you count, there's nothing. We would like to count by 2030. We do not know we will be successful. But I'm an SBD. Our founder, Arnold Janssen, said, you ask, look at the situation, you analyze, you engage in the project. If it fails, you beat your breast and say you are not worthy of the grace. Please help us pray that we will be worthy of the grace to plant 1 billion bamboo, actually planted. And also 1 million farmers, organic farmers, network to our e-commerce platform, and 10 million out of school youth able to pass high school. And then the 3 exit points would be kolehiyo, trabaho, negosyo. We are at present negotiating with Microsoft Asia Pacific and Junior Achievement for 250,000 out of school youth this school year. Please pray that that will also come through. At least they're negotiating. That's millions of pesos.
Thank you very much, Father Benigno Beltran. There's a message for you from Sister Janet RNDM. Thank you, Father Ben, for all your great initiatives, especially the bamboo planting, and I am seeing possibilities here in Mindanao. We'd like to listen also to the opinion, to the response of Dr. Louis Parungao. Dr. Louis?
Hi, magandang araw ulit, no? At happy World Environment Day sa lahat. Okay. Ako personally naniniwala ako, no, na ang pag-solve ng ating problema tungkol sa climate change ay parang hihiramin ko yung term ng aking advisor sa aking dissertation, no, na ang sabi niya, ang pag-solve ng problema tungkol sa impact, no, ng climate change ay parang pagluluto ng bibingka. Alam niyo yung bibingka kung paano niluluto, 'di ba? May apoy sa ibabaw at may apoy sa ilalim, no? So hindi pwedeng ang initiatives ay manggagaling lang sa taas. Kailangan may initiatives din galing sa baba, from the grassroots. Okay. Maraming pwedeng gawin, no? Kung climate blind man yung mga policy initiatives ng government natin about climate change, maraming pwedeng gawin doon sa baba na mas nakakarami, no? Na ito ay I personally believe that this will help kasi yung cumulative effort, no, ng lahat ng nasa baba. Pag ito ay pinagsama-sama ay malaki ang magiging impact, no? So, una i-share ko lang yung amin sa Miriam College Environmental Studies Institute. So one, sorry kasi biased ako dahil educator ako. So we really have to educate not only our students but all sectors of the community, no? We really have to be aggressive in public awareness campaign about climate change. Okay. One. And then in that public awareness campaign, ano ang content? Okay. Mahalaga maintindihan ng lahat ng tao, no, how nature works. And so therefore we are using our 7 environmental principles as lenses, no, in analyzing the ecological problems that beset the world now. So that's one. Okay. 2, ano yung mga actions, no? Simple actions that when all of us would be doing would do a great impact. Promoting plant-based diet kasi napatunayan na sa research, no, na ang meat-based diet ay talagang mas nakakasira ng ng environment kasi mas mataas yung kanyang carbon emissions, and not only carbon emissions but other greenhouse gases. Promoting plant-based diet. Kaya maganda yung Gulayang Bayan, di ba? Raising our own or growing our own food in our backyard. Para it also help lessen carbon footprints kasi hindi na kailangan ng transportation, Hindi mo na kailangan ng mga commercial pesticides, di ba? Na malakas ang emissions din yan ng greenhouse gases. Okay. Energy conservation, no? Kung ang individual, kung ang every household, no, ay would really be true to its energy conservation, then it would help a lot, no? It would help a lot. Okay. And then of course, we really have to plant, we really have to rehabilitate, no, yung mga degraded ecosystems. We really need to reforest. Well, okay. So, kailangan natin talaga ng, aside from bamboo ni Father Beltran, no? We really need forests kasi yung forest give us a lot, no? Or the ecological services, no? So from provisioning, from protection to from forces of nation, we need forests and also watershed. So we need to reforest our watersheds. At kung lahat tayo magtatanim, no? O if all of us would be joining reforestation activities, then it will do a lot of things. Okay. In other words, we really have to simplify our lifestyle. We really have to curb our wants, no? So, siguro balik tayo doon sa kung ano lang yung needs natin. Yun lang muna, no? Yun lang muna. So that we would give nature to heal itself, no? And then tingnan din, okay, kaya din mahalaga na alam natin, no, yung mga processes in nature kasi sometimes when we are doing something to rehabilitate and then we are so dependent on technology, instead na nakakatulong, no, kung hindi natin alam yung mga natural processes, if we will not go by the natural processes, sometimes our initiatives would lead to a more complicated ecological problem. So we really need to understand how nature works. So yun lang po. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Louie. We would like to hear also the thoughts from Father Edu.
As a question of government being blind to climate emergency, we cannot do anything about that. That's the fact. Pero what we can do is instead of condemning, we engage. And at the national level, there are many forms of engagement in terms of policies. Kasama na dyan ang rights of nature. May engagement tayo against mining, renewable energy. So I've been there for 10 years. So there are so many national engagements. But the challenge for us is to also do something at the local level. Kasi hindi lang nakita ko ngayon, hindi lang ang problema, hindi lang masusolusyonan sa national. So even at the local, we have our solutions, our local solutions, and we have our initiatives, we have our programs na hindi nakadepende sa gobyerno. Kung hindi nakikita yun ng gobyerno, hindi gawin natin. Pero kung pwede rin natin namang kunin din sila, tuloy mga initiatives. Recently, we lobby with the local government to pass the several resolutions on environment like the Ecological Food System Act, Sustainable and Ecological Food System Act, and many other local ordinances. So pwede sa national, local level, kung ang gobyerno ay marunong makinig. Ang problema natin sa gobyerno kung hindi marunong makinig at makipagtulungan. At nabanggit nga natin kanina yung prostitute na sinabi ni Gwen, yung politika pwedeng maging mabuti kung talagang makikipag-engage ka doon sa mga mayroon din ganong klaseng mabubuting tao sa loob ng gobyerno na may ganon ding intention. Kaya hindi tayo nagsasarado ng pinto. So kung sila man ay climate blind, ay di imulat natin patuloy. Huwag tayong manghihinawa, titigil.
Thank you, Father Edu. Let's hear also the thoughts of Sir William.
There we go. I think a lot of the people have said you have to start at the local level, and this involves education. one of the things that we found that seems to be working now is you have DRM plans at the municipal level, and the barangay level is usually for compliance. They have a form that you fill out. So what we did in one town is we went in there and we really did the planning for the DRM at the barangay level and with the people. And they have contingency funds now. They have a 6-year plan. They understand it. But one of the interesting things we did is we brought in one of the lecturers from BISO, which is the university in Bohol. And he talked about green recovery, and he talked about zoonosis, which is how did the pandemic get started? Because people have no idea here what the pandemic is with the thing. And that was the most popular lecture that we had of all the ones in there besides the DRM planning. And he had biodiversity in there and its importance and whatnot. So the orientation to the DRM planning itself started with how do we restore the environment and keep it there if we still have to deal with the aberrations that are brought about by climate change. Working with the schools, you have to, well, our major thing is to get the students out of the classroom. You can't talk about nature and how it runs and whatnot if you don't go out there and see it. Now, kids from farm families have probably a better advantage than the urban kids, but we have to get them out there and show them what it can be like before we start talking about what you should be doing and whatnot. If they don't understand the problem because they don't have any experience with it, they're not going to be, it's not going to be important to them. So we have to, again, as I said in my breakout session, if they don't understand the problem, they're not going to solve it. So regardless of what that is. So we have to create the problem in the minds of the young people, especially. For the politicians, I don't know why they don't have set up an academy where all the new leaders, congressmen, senators, mayors, aren't involved in courses in climate change and the environment and how you deal with it. Because unfortunately, a lot of the mayors and local officials, the background is not ecological. It's business, or it's a profession like engineering or that type of thing. So of course they don't understand when it comes to policy and whatnot. It's out of their comfort zone. So maybe we can set up institutions like if Miriam College sets up courses for the new politicians. Maybe it's once a month they go online to learn about different ecosystems and what they are and how do you deal with them sustainably. Maybe that's something we can look at in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir William. We'll also have the thoughts of Sir Bert Peters.
I think parang pantay-pantay naman yung sinabi natin eh. Kaya lang sa akin din, building on dun sa sinabi ni Sir William, we are too disconnected from nature. And I think restoring ecosystems, we have to start to be part of nature, understanding why we do it. Sometimes sobrang technical yung approach of planting things. And look at the concept of biodiversity. Even if we plant bamboos, like Father Beltran was saying, let's mingle and mix other species. Let's not just create, again, monocultures along our rivers. I see the economic importance, but there are so many things we can get from trees and other species as well. I think what we should do is to open up our cities and our communities for nature to come in. And it's naturally there. We have creeks, rivers that flow through our towns. And if we open up these rivers again, we create what was given by law to nature, and we retake that, the 10-meter embankment or the 4-meter embankment on the creeks and the rivers, and we bring back nature there. Bamboos, trees, fruit trees, benches where people can sit, places where people can stroll, we walk around it. It's tourism blending with learning, blending with economic activities. It's so simple. And probably it's so simple that many politicians won't even take it seriously. And we can start doing that tomorrow. And I think we try to do that in our approaches ongoing in everything we build to make nature part of what we set up. And yes, in my presentation, I said buildings are still part of what we do. Human beings, we still want to create things and build our things, but let's also build in a similar way with nature. If we can build amazing cities, let's also build amazing nature. And I think that's where the blend of both aspects will come in. Because then when you ask people to do something, they know it, they feel it, they appreciate it. And if you appreciate something, you give it your time. You don't really ask for to be paid for doing it. It's like a voluntary thing, and we can all see the benefits that we will gather from such actions as well. The fruits, the enjoyment of having a sunset stroll with your girlfriend or whatever and your partner. But we need to have a pleasant way of doing this ecosystem restoration, because we are looking at a very timely 10 to 15 years climate window. If we can do it with gusto and with feelings of pleasure, I think we are not that negative after all. And we need to wake up from this pandemic sooner than later to be able to go out there and make it real and create something that is utterly beautiful as well.
Thank you, Sir Peter. Now, last but not the least, we'll have Mayor Jo on for your thoughts.
Hi, everyone.
Mayor Joan, good morning po.
To answer the question, Lumingag, as you all know, is a local government, and then we can only share what we know. So, sorry, nag-breastfeed. So, I want to share a line from my father. During galing po, he said, ako muna yung magsasakripisyo, ako muna ang magbabago, ako muna ang mag-organic, ako muna ang magsiservisyo. So, from that line, we want to let everyone know na parang dito sa amin sa Dumingag, kailangan talaga na yung leaders magsiset ng example. So, yun yung pinaka-take siguro. And sa akin as the mayor ngayon, parang having the background as a nurse, which is the essence is to care. So, sa dami din ng natutunan ko kay Sir Bert as partner namin sa Dumingag, the keyword is collaboration with other people and lahat ng sectors sa Dumingag. So, tinuturuan natin yung mga tao, ina-advocate natin kung ano yung tingin natin na makapabuti sa atin at sa future generations. Kumbaga, hindi lang natin iisipin yung ngayon, kundi kung hindi yung bukas din na kunwari yung ginagawa natin dito na we capacitate our leaders. Leaders meaning hindi lang yung mga officials kundi yung mga farmers, yung mga barangay officials and all. Tinuturuan natin capacity development and kung ano-ano yung mga programs natin. And in terms of environment, yun din yung isa sa mga ina-advocate natin, especially through sustainable organic agriculture and ngayon sa forest green program natin. Part ng cycle, part ng process na kailangan hindi yung tao lang yung mabubuhay baga. Yung tao, part lang ng process, part lang ng cycle. May mas malaki pang mundo na kailangan natin alagaan, serbisyo, tapos pagpatuloy lang natin yung mga ginagawa natin maliliit na bagay para sa restoring our ecosystem. For example, yung sinasabi nga natin na during Earth Day, yung theme natin is about restoring Earth. And ngayon, ma-zoom in tayo, restoring our ecosystems na. So, strengthening our villages para sa mas bigger picture, strengthen yung and empowered yung mga tao na hindi na lang after makuha nila yung sustainability nila for themselves, they will think of others na po. Yun siguro.
Thank you very much.
Vision na ilingkawas ang katawan, ikan sa kalisod, sa gutom o sakit, yun po yung nire-replicate natin kahit sa mga bata at sa mga
Thank you very much, Mayor Joanne. And for us to have a better idea of how the local government unit of Dumingag in Zamboanga del Sur is doing their efforts to restore the ecosystem, our ecosystem, especially down south, let's watch this video.
Sa dumingag tang tanan, kay maayo ang padulngan, ug daghan ang matabangan, nga para natong tanan. Sa dumingag tang tanan, magiusa og pag-uban, para sa kinaiyahan, ug sa atong kalambuan. Nakita ang kalahian sa atong lungsod, nakita ang kabaguhan. Magpadayon ta sa kalinaw nga nasingatita, iring lungsura, usaan hina sa dumingag tang tanan. Magpadayon ta sa kanindot nga atong nakita, iring napita, kung saan hina sa dumingag tang tanan. Sa mga organiko nga mga produkto, sa dumingag lang mo adto, ang tanan makita ninyo. Ang lungsod nga walay away, kalinaw gayon kanunay, makita ang pagtinawangay, nga puno sa kalipay. Wala hindi naunhan, kundi ang lumingag lang. Wala hindi awitan, kundi ang lumingag lang. Wala hindi higugma, kundi ang lumingag lang. Kundi ang lumingag lang. Magpadayon ta sa kalinaw nga na sinatita, nilungsura kung saan hina sa lumingag tantangan. Nagpadayon ta sa kanindot nga atong napita, diring dapita kung saan hina sa lumingag tantangan. Nagpadayon ta sa kalinaw nga na sinapita, diring lungsura busaan hina sa lumingag tantanan. Nagpadayon ta sa kanindot nga atong nakita, diring dapita busaan hina sa lumingag tantanan.
Maraming salamat po sa LGU ng Lumingag para doon sa ating sa video na ipinakita po kung paano din nila ginagawa yung restoration ng ating common home dyan sa Zamboanga del Sur. Okay, I'll just be reading some of the messages that we've had in the chat box. And if we'll have time, there's one more question that our panelists would need to respond to. From Sir Phil, let's create highways for wildlife and plants to thrive along all creeks and rivers so biodiversity can blend in with communities. We need to dare to destroy our intrusion in the natural fabric as well. It will all be for the long-term benefit. From Ms. Gwen, let me just add, we can begin to choose national candidates who understand and support nature-based solutions to ecosystem and green bills. From Kuya Tony ng Episcopal Commission on Indigenous Peoples, maliban po sa kanya-kanyang gawain ng maraming grupo at NGOs kasama ang simbahan, dapat pa rin nahikayatin, bantayan at singilin ang Estado o gobyerno sa usapin ng climate crisis. Tama po kayo, Father Edu. And another, yes, conversion of the feet, exposures, and field works are important, especially for students. This conversation of the feet will lead to conversion of the head or environmental awareness and result in the conversion of the heart, commitment to care for our common home. Okay, so praise our God of surprises for green political leaders like Mayor Joanne Padayon. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga mensaheng ipinaabot ninyo sa atin ngayon. And just one more before we end, there's another question that we need our panelists or resource persons to answer, to reply to, or maybe kung sino po who feels like responding to this question. What is your opinion in terms of nature-based versus technology engineering solutions to ecosystem restoration? Can we have like a 1-minute response from each one of you? Can I start with Sir Bert Peters?
I would say nature-based would be my priority or my preference. Siguro, I think nature, you need to feel it, you need to smell it. I mean, you can't start building a plan on a computer or with GPS. It's nice to, you know what I like? If you see the results after a time, parang ma-appreciate mo yung impact ng ginagawa. Like, for instance, going to a map or having a drone. What we do a lot is using drones to be able to see the aerial view, the bird's eye perspective of what we are doing, to see the scale and for people to understand how little things can impact on the ecosystem, but I think nature-based would come first. The actual doing it, and then secondary, use some technologies to be able to show it, to enhance it, to broadcast it, and to make sure other people will be equally excited about that. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Thank you, Sir Bert. Father Benigno, would you like to respond also po?
I think either or thinking is from the West. Okay? I think it's both and. Why do technology and nature-based have to be, as long as we have our standards for judging? Listen to the cry of Mother Earth, listen to the cry of the poor. Technology makes you deaf to listening to those cries, do not use it. If it helps you better to listen to the poor, use it. So my answer is we should have norms for judging, not either or thinking that all technology is bad and nature-based will not solve our problem. Well, let's be creative and see how we could combine the two so that we could follow Laudato Si. That's our golden mean. No, Laudato Si. Hear the cry of the poor, hear the cry of Mother Earth. Because, there are solutions that are not very good.
Thank you, Father. Let's go to another priest, Father Edu.
I agree with Father Ben. Technology is good if it helps, but we need to be mindful also of the bad impact or of over-reliance on technology, and that has been already explicitated in Laudato Si. Our over dependence to technology that are not really helpful to us. The mere fact that we are having this webinar is because of good technology that we have. So we need to be thankful as long as it's helpful.
Thank you, Father. Sir William?
Okay, I think you have to learn how to integrate the technology with nature, with the thing. So you evaluate it before you start. Don't implement it and find out later on you did something that caused a big problem rather than solve it. Technology by itself is neutral. It's the person who uses it is the one who determines whether it's good or bad or not. So you have to, if you come from the background where you start with nature first, you're probably better off than saying somebody from a city who has no experience with nature and then tries to apply something to it with the thing. So we use technology all the time, and if we find something that can make it easier, then we do it. If not, then we stick with what we have. But you have to evaluate it and before you use a technology, not after you start using it.
Thank you. And Mayor Joanne?
Sa akin, it starts with intention siguro kung paano natin gustong gamitin. For example, kahit yung nature, yung intention natin is to destroy, ano pa rin, makakasira pa rin sa environment, or kunwari, gamitin natin yung technology in a good way na makatulong sa patuloy nating pag-enhance, pag-restore ng kinaiyahan. Magagamit natin lahat ng kung anong pwede nating gamitin para sa goal natin na maayos yung environment, yung home natin. So I say both, or yes, the integration of both technologies. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Joanne. There's one from our audience, mga kasama natin dito, from Philippine Permaculture, who'd like to also
Ma'am
share with
Jing?
us. Yes po.
Ma'am Jing, I would like to answer also, no? Yung dun sa
Yes, Dr.
question.
Lou.
Oo. There is this principle, principle number 1, environmental principle number 1, that states nature knows best. So according to that principle, only nature can best heal itself. Only nature can best regulate itself. Tama na we have to critical with the technology that we're using. Kasi meron namang mga environmental technology. Technology that mimics yung mga natural process in nature. And that's why we really have to understand first how nature works. What are these natural processes? How does nature regulate itself? How does nature heal itself? So we really have to understand those things. And then that would be the parameters by which you will determine if the technology that you will apply would be detrimental or would be helpful, or would be effective in protecting nature. So yun po yung ano natin. So that's why I agree with Father that we really need to have lenses. And kami sa Miriam, we use the 7 environmental principles as our lens. Okay. So yun lang po. So education pa rin. We really need to educate ourselves and the people about the natural processes in nature. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Louie. Thank you so much. I'd like to call the representative from Philippine Permaculture to share also the initiatives that they are doing in ecosystem restoration. Nandito pa po ba?
Baka ako yan.
Ikaw ba to, Sir Bert? Okay, there's another one kasi using Realme, hindi nakapangalan ng maayos lang po yung ano. Okay, from Realme 6i. Nandito pa po ba? Or wala na? Okay na po? Sige po. So if none already and we are good, maraming salamat po for all the, not only the bright ideas, but actually yung lahat ng mga concrete examples of really how we are restoring the ecosystems in the whole Philippines. So maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga efforts, sa lahat ng mga initiatives na ito. And for that, the Rights of Nature movement, so Caritas Philippines and PMPI with all our partners is launching a donation drive to fund our advocacies, especially the ones that you have listened to. Ano po, etong mga advocacies natin, etong mga initiatives na ginagawa. So we have advocating in the practices of permaculture in the Philippines. We also have bamboo restoration project in Marikina watershed, and then the academic initiatives in community-based forest resource management and biodiversity conservation, the Gulayang Bayan for the Caritas Kindness Station in the Apostolic Vicariate of Calapan, also the establishing community-based or managed forests, and the regenerative system, the Dumingag's Genuine People's Agenda on People Empowerment and Sustainable Development. All these would be a beneficiary to the appeal that we are doing. So if you would like to donate for these causes, please don't be afraid to do so. And then also you can course through the BPI bank accounts and other donation portals po. Another call to action is also that we are encouraging everyone to continue signing up in our pledge of commitment of support to the Rights of Nature campaign. So it is lodged at the Caritas Philippines website, so you can sign in and then have your commitment counted for the rights of nature. So Yun po, ito yung ating mga campaigns na gusto sana natin na idulog sa inyo para sa inyo pong suporta. Okay, so the link is on the chat box already, so please just feel free to sign in if you haven't done so in the past. Ano po? Again, thank you very much for your endearing support to the Rights of Nature campaign, to the movement that we are able to establish and build stronger. Especially, we would like to also mention our Sapat Lifestyle campaign. Maraming salamat po, and to all the efforts that you're doing in your own organizations, in your own localities, to really be the generation of restorers. Kaya po maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Okay, pa-follow din ng lahat ng pages ng Philippine Miserior Partnership Incorporated, ng Rights of Nature, Caritas Philippines, AMRSP, CBCP National Laudato Si Program, GCCM Pilipinas Foundation, bakit may foundation? Sir John, Brother John, nagka-foundation kayo. And also all the other organizations po here, pwede po ninyong i-follow yung lahat ng ating mga Facebook pages, kasi gusto natin talaga na we create also these kinds of conversations even in an everyday life doon sa ating social media pages. Ano po? So we keep on sharing also all the posts na meron ng bawat isa, so that it would be really it would really be viral para po mas marami yung nakakaalam din. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. And then now, we would like to provide you as a way of closing this celebration, this festival. We would like to give you some pointers on the takeaways and everything, the summary of what we have been discussing all throughout the day through our friend from GCCM Pilipinas. We have Brother John Dean.
Maraming salamat, Ching. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. I think sa program ay closing remark, but I think it's part takeaway din. While listening, I think we need to remember that 2021 and 2030 is a decisive decade para sa ating lahat if we really want to make the target of carbon neutral by 2050. When I joined sa breakout groups with Father Ben, ang feeling ko din na sana I would be able to join in other groups. Pero that's the limit, our own human limits. We cannot be in everything. And also that's our strength, because that means we really need the help of everybody. And I think, and that's how ecosystem works. It thrives on diversity. So yung image kanina ng isang resource speaker natin, si Dr. Louie, na yung bibingka na there has to be some fire from below, fire from above, and maybe fire from left and fire from right. I think that's the image that we need to maintain today because of the urgency of the climate change. So lahat ng mga initiative are welcome from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So all the experiences from the LGU in Dumingag, daghang salamat, and all also other initiatives from Visayas and Luzon, they're most welcome to this in all our struggle for a nature-based solutions to our ecosystem. And again, I think the message last month ng April, nag-meeting lahat ang mga climate experts together with the Nobel laureates. And their question is, how fast do we really move in our transition? And I think that's the real question. So on behalf sa organizers ng webinar na ito, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga resource person natin. Maraming salamat din sa ating mga participants at organizers. And I would like to leave you with this quote from Laudato Si in this day of the World Environment. On Laudato Si 48, the human environment and the natural environment deteriorate together. We cannot adequately combat environmental degradation unless we attend to causes related to human and social degradation. Galing po yan sa Laudato Si number 48. So maraming salamat po, dagang salamat. Thank you very much to all and good afternoon po sa ating lahat.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Brother John. And really, on behalf of the Philippine Miserior Partnership Incorporated of Caritas Philippines, AMRSP, FCCAI, GCM Pilipinas, GARN, and Simbahayan, and all of our partners, we would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone here in the Zoom for participating so actively and so generously, and also for all of our viewers out in the social media. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. And we would like to also be closing in with a call from the UN Environment Program and then the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. We only have 10 more years to restore the planet, and there has never been a more urgent need to revive damaged ecosystems than now, because ecosystems support all life on Earth. The healthier our ecosystems are, the healthier the planet and its people. So the UN Decade of Ecosystem Restoration aims to prevent, halt, and reverse the degradation of ecosystems on every continent and in every ocean. It can help to end poverty, combat climate change, and prevent a mass extinction. It will only succeed if everyone plays a part. So I would like to reiterate what Father Tony said, that healing our common home is everybody's business. And we cannot do this if pagpapatumpik-tumpik tayo. Kinakailangan na po talagang gawin ito ngayon. So to everybody who partook in this online event, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat on behalf of all the organizers. Maraming salamat sa inyo, and it's already lunchtime. With this, we are saying thank you to everybody, and hopefully we would really be a generation of restorers of our ecosystem. Good day.
Babanam kevalam, 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 Babanam, 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 Babanam kevalam, 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 Babanam, 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 Babanam kevalam, Babanam.